So like I said in my last video before the storage run out, Trump is using, he's saying, okay, I'm gonna give them more money, I'm gonna give them more opportunities, but I'm gonna push out the people who has less foundation because their environment is terrible. You know, it's like I said, their foundation, their temple, where they grew up in, all it looks bad. It doesn't look too good. So if they bring their environment comfortability here, they might try to do it the same. That's what Trump is saying. But they're not building the actual wisdom of their being so they can actually take it back and be like, look, I learned this, so we need to be like this. They're actually degrading them. That's called social laughter. That's called a viral laugh. That's called the spiritual plus mindset adjustment. Now let's go to Biden. He raised the inflation, more money, all that. I'm gonna keep going. But the taxes, you know, he said, here, y'all can have that, y'all can have this, y'all can have more availability to get food, you know. But I'm gonna bring in immigrants. I'm gonna bring in people like this. Okay, he did that. Okay, what's the social standard that we must be in order to, you know, help each other, in order to actually bring people together to have a better foundation of how to work together and how to actually build better foundation instead of running through the same foundation and just going off and feeding each other each day to day. See, this is the economic pressure. They're trying to say, oh, we just here to feed each other, to get more money, to do this. So why do we need multiple presidents to tell us we need to be free, have money, have somewhere to stay, have shelter, and have things in order to be rebuilt if it gets destroyed? Why don't we have the information? Why aren't y'all giving out free information? Why aren't y'all playing on the TVs how to build new things or how to even build structure? You know, how to repair structure. Why aren't we having a free availability in order to build these things? If a hurricane comes around, the first thing that should be on TV before it even hits, how to rebuild this, how to rebuild that, where to get this at, where to get that at. Instead of building new houses, instead of real deal building down or making sure people get this drug or whatever what this is, why can't we focus on helping each other mind, helping each other get the total foundation of wisdom, what the Bible is saying, so we can actually live together, so we can actually trust other people to come in our area, so we can trust people to come in more of our inner rooms. Why can't we trust each other? It's because we don't have, you feel me? We're the viral laugh and the adjustment of mindset versus spiritual set is actually degrading people. Talking about people doing this is actually making them feel good because they're like, man, I don't know how to feel better about this situation, so I'm gonna just make the situation make me feel good too. And they try it and they're like, oh, it actually feels good, I'm gonna keep doing it. Then it starts breaking down the social things because that's what the top people are doing, quote unquote top people. Now Camilla, she's like, I'm gonna give y'all free housing, free food. I'm basically what she's saying. And then she's looking at Trump and be like, look what you doing. You talk about this and that. You be like, oh, he's not great because of this. I just seen a commercial the other day. He's saying, I kid you not, this is exactly what it sounded like to me, and this is what it keep repeating in my head, and this is what it was ticking me off. It was saying, she said, it was like a 3-second video. Trump is not a good president, and I approve this message. And I sat back and I was like, wow, what's a wisdom standard I can get from this? I'm gonna have to go and research Trump, and I seen it. I'm like, hold on, y'all just created a real deal, chaotic balance scale. That's what I'm gonna call it. Y'all created a chaotic balance scale. Pushed out immigrants, brought immigrants in. Raised up food, but brought immigrants in that you want to help. Gave out real deal aids to help the environment, but took out the people from the environment that needs help. Now we can't go in certain places because they're like, oh, we need foundation too. If y'all showed trust, like here, we have the foundation. We can send people over there, and we should be doing things out of the heart and be like, you know what? Just like people are doing politics on social views, they should be like, okay, we understand that you need money, but what can we do for you, for your social, to your household, to your food? You know, what can we do for this so you can go over here and help these people right here? Because if they're saying we don't have enough money, but what resources can you give them? What knowledge, what people can you actually help them? What foundation of houses can you give them? Because guess what they're doing with the president? and that, but they're not doing with other people, but they're finna do with people because Kamala, they're in the White House, they're in a nice house, top service, all this, you know. So if we can't help each other be in a foundation of being in a, you know, a confinement in a situation that is healthy for each other, but we can also teach each other like the president is, but the president is in a high spot teaching people, quote unquote, helping people, quote unquote, building up, trying to bring up social standards. Okay, so why do you get to live in a top house but help us? Why aren't you, why can't we trust you enough? Why can't you be in position enough? They'd be like, oh, because you know, it's people that hate you. Why do we have to hate you? Why don't we see that you have more love? Why can't we see that you have more wisdom and foundation to actually bring us into totality? Why don't you have the protection from spiritual foundation to actually not even get touched just a little, not even a little bit? Why are you even getting touched by, you know, because they know you listen. If I tell one of my angels, help me out right here because I need to see a little bit better. I need to have a reassurance. And be like, oh, the government is actually hearing me. And be like, yeah, they getting shots of what you're saying. I'm like, oh, they basically trying to Donald Trump, DT, double tap, like the comments, the social media, all this. They're seeing what you're doing. They're seeing what you're doing on social media, and they're trying to trump it. They seeing you trying to whip the boat, you know. They seeing you trying to help people not get flooded, you know. They see you not trying to help people, you feel me, stay above water. Donald Duck whipping the boat. They see you trying to help people, but guess what they're trying to do? They're trying to trump you by having actually higher power on these electronics, you feel what I'm saying? They're actually doing that. I'm like, oh, so they hear me? Like, yeah, they do. I'm like, thank you, Angel, for allowing me to help you. It's like, thank you. You the one that taught, you feel me? That's exactly what they're saying. You the one that taught us how to actually sacrifice, how to actually have faith and sacrifice. How to actually follow the trails of sacrifice. And sacrifice is not exactly what people mean either. It's creation advice. Like creation, advice. How to look to future advice and create. How to understand if I decrease that, I know I can add on right here. I don't mind, you feel me, taking a shot, taking a risk, jumping off anywhere. I don't mind. But if I sit back and be like, oh, I have to have faith to do this, I'm going to do it. If I have to have actual understanding, oh, I know the understanding that could come from that, I'm going to do it. But see, a lot of times faith isn't always about not being brave enough to do something. It's about not being sure if it's actually going to work. You already know what's going to happen, but you're like, I don't know if it's going to work. Am I going to waste my time doing it? No. You must use your faith and trust that it's going to work. Kamala Harris, you know, Cam Allah. Spread the words. The Muslim God, the music limb. Muslim is really saying the music limb, the throat. You must speak life. It's really saying, oh, he's harassing us with music, with words. Look at the rapture. It's really saying a rap temperature. You speaking brings heat. It brings electron. You know, the sun, like I said, it brings in mass. It brings in gravity because the heat, because the foundation that it emits. The voice also does that. It emits heat. It brings things in, you know? It pushes things out. It creates things in the outer force. Kamala, the Cam, Allah. They're looking at me through this camera. They understand that I am Allah. I am all law. I understand all laws. I understand all foundation. I understand how to build it. But I also understand how to test spirits. And the only thing I need people to do is understand that I'm not only testing your spirit through the physical, also through the spirit. Do you have faith that it's going to work? Do you have faith that fear is only something that's going to hinder you? Or do you have faith that understanding that if you jump off this cliff, if you jump off that mountain and be like, I'm going to sit right here and I'm going to be patient because my mind is always being tested. If I wait and let foundation build, I'm going to be able to say a perspective and it will build the next foundation. But as soon as I try to take something away, instead of trying to add, even if it don't make sense, even if I add, it will still bring a foundation. But if I take away, it always will hinder something. It's just like children. If you take away your child's favorite shoes to run in, it's going to hinder them. But guess what they're going to try to do? Run barefoot, and it's going to hurt their foot. And they be like, man, I just needed those shoes. Why did you take the shoes? It's like I took them because you was wearing them too much. I didn't want you to mess them up. No, these are my favorite shoes to run in. I feel good in them. You're supposed to allow me to mess them up so I can actually be like this and like this and like this. Allow your mind to be messed up so you can gain. Allow that child to run in them shoes so she can actually sit back and be like, wow. Or her running them shoes and be like, wow, I ran in them shoes when I was little. Now look at me. I'm the fastest person in the world because I felt good running. And I knew it wasn't even about the look. It was just about me feeling good, about liking the color, about the sparkle, about me seeing myself from an outer vision, an outer perspective vision and running. And that's what wisdom is all about. Actually speaking and seeing yourself from an outer perspective vision in order to grow you and to grow other people. You know, you must divide things in order to layer it into foundation. Oppression versus overcoming. That's Ram. I am an Aries. Oppression versus overcoming. Aries, God of war.